This is CB, and I'm going to show you how to do a beautiful set of silk nails with Super Nails Swiss Silk. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put the tips on and file them to where you don't have a heavy line in the middle. Second thing you're going to want to do, because you've already filed the tips down, is put a little dehydrator. It cleans the nail and it helps for proper adhesion. So now you're going to open up the silk box, and they have the silk pieces. They have a little strip at the end that makes it a little easier to take off. It's easy to try and rip off a couple of pieces that are close to the size of your nail. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to touch the edges. Actually, you don't want the silk to touch the edge all the way. So you're going to take it and you're going to just take the little end like this. Try not to touch it too much because the adhesion is not very heavy. So you're going to press one layer like that. Then you're going to cut it, and then you're going to take the same silk and you're going to go over halfway up where the stress area would be, and then you would cut one more time. And so you don't have to make it perfect. So now you're going to cut the sides so that it's not touching the skin. And like I said, they do not have to be perfect because the sides and the edges kind of get filed off and the glue goes all the way to the edge. Okay, so now you have it here. Try not to rub it, just kind of press it down a little bit. Then take your glue, and you're not going to touch the silk. You're going to just drip a couple of drops of glue. And you can kind of get the edges a little bit. Like that. You don't want to put too much glue. Less is better because you don't want to get it all over your finger. Then you're going to take a glue dry spray. Very lightly, not heavy, because it does have a little bit of heat action, which can burn a little bit. It's almost dry. Not, add a little bit more. Then you are going to take your powder filler. It's a filler powder made out of acrylic. It'll give it a nice shape and it'll give it a little bit more strength. So you're going to put a layer of glue, and you can touch the glue because you can touch the nail with the glue at that time because the glue is dry. Then while it's still wet, you're going to just kind of tap it with your finger on the end. And especially get the stress area. You don't have to make it too thick. Get a little bit of it on the whole nail and a little bit more on the stress. And do not touch it with the tip of the glue. Just let it drip onto it. Kind of spread out a little bit, and you'll tap little areas where it hasn't gotten. Then you're going to go ahead and spray again to dry it. You can see it drying. Touch it a little, it's dry. Then you're going to want to take a file, and now let's file a shape into it. And the Swiss silk is very good. China silk is the best silk, but it's very, very hard to find China silk anymore. The silk you can find is an Indian silk, but not quite as good as the China silk. Swiss silk by Super Nail works excellent. As you can see, it's not real hard to file, but you will use a little bit of strength, and you can file the edges off. All the little edges you're gonna file off. And try not to tear the person's finger up too much. Okay, so you filed all your little edges off. Make sure they're filed. And you've gotten it smooth enough. You're looking at it, it looks pretty smooth. And this client who I am doing this nail on today, this set of nails, she loves her nails squared with rounded corners. So that is the shape that we are going to do today. But you can do the silk, you can shape them any way you want, round, pointy, however you would like. Okay, and now what you're going to do, make sure there's nothing under the edge. Make sure it all looks nice and clean. And it's okay, you don't have to brush the powder off because the powder actually adds to it. And then you can touch the tip right on the nail, go all the way to the edges. You don't have to squeeze a lot because you don't want to make a mess with your glue. You kind of make a dot, and you kind of use the side of the glue to kind of run it all over. Then you're going to go ahead and spray it again. And then you're going to take a brush-on gel resin glue. and you're going to touch it right around the edges. You're going to dry it one more time. It will be dry. You can go ahead and touch it, and then you're going to take the black buffer that's a little bit more grainy. Try not to get the cuticles too much. Just get it to where it's nice and smooth. Touch it, go around your edges a little bit, and then, okay. Now the white buffer's a little easier on you, so you can get a little closer to the cuticles and go underneath the free edge. Get the edges a little, buff it nice. Everything feels really smooth. And then she would wash the nail, and the last thing I would do is a little oil on her. If you don't want to wear any polish but a clear coat, buff them with a 3-way buffer. You don't need to use the rough side at all. Use the white side. Go around your edges really good, and then take the shiner side and buff that. If not, if you are not planning on wearing them natural or just wearing a clear coat, you don't need the extra shine. You can leave out this step right after the white buffing block, put your base coat and all your polish on, and you're ready to go. And you have beautiful silk nails.